What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Darkness Falls back here with another Wuthering Waves video here, man. So yeah, man, you guys already know, man, we're here to talk about these rerun anniversary banners, because that's what they are. And yeah, man, I just wanted to go more in depth on this. So if you guys want to know my initial thoughts on the live screen, and of course the them apologizing, giving us more rewards, which I already said they were going to do anyway, you can look at both of those videos. But here we're going to be focusing on phase 1 rerun banners, even though I'm not touching this banner at all. I'm just going to be summoning for ANNI. But I do have 4 of the 5 of these characters here on this banner, and I've been playing with them for a long time now, and I can just tell you guys how I like to use them and how I use them on my account. So there are some people who don't know what to summon for. So say like if you don't like ANNI, there are some people saying they wanted to summon for Jian, they summon for Yinlin, summon for Juja, summon for Shang Liao, or summon for Phoebe. So I've watched a lot of comments on different things, whether it's X, whether it's Facebook, whether it's any group that has a Wuthering Waves group. And there are a lot of people who are grateful for these rerun banners, so they don't have to wait that long to get these characters. So I think it's great for people who miss these characters. They can pick them up, and no, you do not have to summon for all of them. Okay, there are some people who's confused, saying Kuro is giving them 10 banners and 12 banners to summon on. You cannot get all of them. That's not how this works. Yes, if you're a whale, you can do that. If you're not a whale, you have to be like me. You have to summon for who you can get. So one of these people here you can potentially get, especially if you're not satisfied with Zani or Chacona for part 2. So yeah, not everybody wants Zani, so that sucks for them, but I'm going to get it. So let's go ahead and go over it. So here, man, you guys already know I'm going to put part 2 in a separate video. So here I have 4 out of the 5 resonators here on my account, which is a total free play account, and I have them greatly built and they are very good. So I have everyone here listed except Jian. So I do have Yinlin, I do have Juja, we got Shang Liao for free, and I do have Phoebe. Now when it comes to the weapons here, the only one I have is Screen Master, and that's one I do recommend, because if you have 3 of these rectifier units, it can be used for all of them. So that's the crazy thing. So Screen Master works for Juja, and it also works for Phoebe as well if you don't have their signature. Now the other ones are not so universal the other way around, because I would say Phoebe's is a little more niche towards her because of the spectral frazzle stuff, and these other 2 people can't do spectral frazzle, so that won't work for them. But yeah, Screen Master has been great to use on multiple characters, but we'll see. And it has the crit rate, so the crit rate helps out a lot. So yeah, let's talk about them. So Jian, even though I don't have him, of course I've played with him before and I know how he plays on like other accounts, just not mine's. He's a very good character. He is just a main DPS. He's not going to buff your team in any way, but if you pair him up with Mortefi and pair him up with Verena or Shorekeeper, he can do a lot of damage with those 2 characters supporting him. He can still clear in game and fight whoever you need to fight, boss wise, hologram, whatever. So Jian is not a trash character by any means. None of these characters are in Wuthering Waves. I think all 5-star characters have their uses, and yeah, man, they're all still pretty usable. So Jian, even though I don't really care about him, because you guys should know me by now, I don't really care about guys like that. So it is what it is. Very good character. If you want Jian, it's good that he's been featured, or you would have had to wait a couple months. So it's good that Kuro is giving you an option, keyword option, to pull him. Again, you're not forced to summon for all 5 of these characters. So now let's talk about Yinlin. Yinlin is very good for the coordinated attack, and of course she buffs lightning resonators by a certain percentage, and of course buffs something else with her the outro or intro, whatever. So basically Yinlin, you want to use her in teams like with Shang Liao, because Shang Liao will be the main driver. He'll be the DPS, and Yinlin will be the sub DPS for him. So she'll be able to amplify his damage with like the Moonlit set. And yeah, you want to use her in other comps that can, take advantage of coordinated attack in that sub DPS slot with like Gen C. And I also use her with Chang Li sometimes as well. Real fast, quick swap teams. So that will work for Yinlin. And that's why I use her with predominantly those 3 teams: Gen C, Chang Liao, and Chang Li. So yeah, you're only going to be using her mostly in a sub DPS role. Yeah, you can use this as main DPS if you want to, but you got to have somebody else to support her and then go from there. But she has AoE. Those people are mainly for sub DPS, so she's not a main DPS. You can use her as a main DPS if you want to, but she's a great sub DPS, and that's what she's made for. Jaja, just the same. She does coordinated attack, but her resonator damage thing is for ice. So of course for Jaja, you want to pair her up with characters like Gen C, and also pair her up with Carlota, because she also buffs ice on her, I believe outro. So basically, this character I think is very big for Gen C users, because especially you get that resonant skill damage and you want to get that big nuke with the dragon. It feels great to do it. If you don't have Jaja with Gen C, the nuke doesn't feel the same. I'm just here to tell you. And the energy that she gives back to Gen C is also good, or any resonator, who's attacking. That energy does help out a lot. And yeah, man, I like when she does that. So I've been using her, since, her first banner. I got lucky and got her. And yeah, she's very great. Also, I have Carlota as well. So I have to use her with Carlota. And man, that team is a monster. So I do have the free-to-play Miss pistol for Carlota, the one that gives you crit rate. So my Carlota has been doing crazy damage with her as the sub DPS and with Shorekeeper. So yes, if you use Carlota a lot, Jaja is your girl. Gen C, she's your girl. I don't recommend using her with any other people. She can be used with them, but the damage will, fall off. Now, Chang Liao, free-to-play character, free character that they gave us as well. He is awesome. This guy does amazing damage. He does great in quick swap teams. He's great all over around. So I'm not gonna say nothing too bad about this character. This character is just good at it, mostly everything. So of course, you want to use him in a main DPS slot as well, but he also can be used as sub DPS, like I said, in quick swap teams. With, of course, he's on. Yinlin will be paired with him. You can also use him with Chang Li in quick swap teams. You can also use him with who is it? Havoc Rover, and any other teams that he can quick swap with. So those 3 are the main ones. Yinlin, of course, because she boosts him for lightning. Chang Li for quick swap, and of course Havoc Rover for quick swap. So Chang Liao, I would say, is a very fun character to use. He have great animations. The way he attacks is just great. And like I said, for him being a free character was insane. I know it sucks for a lot of people who started late, and if your only thing was you only got a PS5 super late, and you couldn't play it on mobile for some reason, or whatever the excuse is, he was a big steal as a free character to get through an event. So yeah, if you missed him, I know a lot of people who wants to get him back on their accounts, even though he've already had a rerun, but for some reason you missed him. He's back. I think he's a very good character to pick. Now, last and not least is going to be Phoebe. So let's go over Phoebe here. I know a lot of people are tying her in a lot with the banner character, which is ANNI. So of course, this character, just to get the most optimal damage with ANNI and have the best comp and all that, Phoebe is going to be her best supporter. So it's going to be ANNI, Phoebe, and then Shorekeeper. Now, some people are telling you that it's going to be ANNI, Phoebe, and Spectral Rover. No, you're not running Spectral Rover over Shorekeeper. I would say Spectral Rover is, a last option if you don't have Verena or Shorekeeper. You're not running that character over them. And I say that because Phoebe provide enough spectral frazzle for Zanny to use, and of course you want the crazy bonus from the supports. And Spectral Rover doesn't. Spectral Rover doesn't have the crazy support like Shorekeeper does. Shorekeeper is the best support in the game for a reason, and her rerun is right now. So if you're summoning or watching this video, Shorekeeper's in the game right now. Now I know a lot of people who has summoned on her rerun because this is her first rerun, and if you missed her, I can't blame you if you summon for Shorekeeper. I can't blame you. She's just that good. So now with Phoebe, you do not need her for Zanny. You can use Spectral Rover in her position. Just keep in mind the damage will probably not be the greatest, or the rotation may be a little different, because I really hate using certain characters in certain rotations. So like people brought up, like in phase 2 we got Roshia. Roshia is very good for the Havoc team as the sub DPS, but her rotations are a little bit longer. So you got to get used to building up the energy, building up the bar, and then use her echo and then swap her out. So I would say Phoebe is just her rotation is a lot easier to use than Spectral Rover for Zanny teams. So there are some people who wanted Phoebe and didn't care about Zanny. So depending on where you are in this position, if you just like Phoebe as the character, you can probably just go for her, and then of course use her with Rover and a support, which what we've been doing since Zanny came out. So Phoebe, Spectral Rover, Shorekeeper, or Verena, or whatever support you got. So hopefully you got something on there. But of course, if you're just tying her into Zanny, yes, this character is going to take her to the next level. So like I said, she's not needed. You can use Spectral Rover with Zanny with another support. So yes, you don't necessarily need to be forced to summon for her. I have her on my account. That's mainly because I think the character was cool and whatnot. But I prioritize Zanny and Carlotta for my Renacita characters. I didn't care about Brant or Roshia. But I just said I'll go ahead and pick her up. Why not? Because I'm a Zanny lover. So I'm just going to boost my Zanny damage as, on my free-to-play account. So that's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. So yes, these are the 5 characters here for part 1. Like I said, I will make a different video for part 2. Like I said, I don't recommend summoning for these weapons. I would say, like I said, Scream Master to me is the most universal one. Now, I like Shang Liao's weapon. I think his weapon is good for gauntlet users, but we do not have a lot of great abundance of gauntlet characters. A lot of people use that Scream Master, so I swap that out on my Phoebe, my Yinlin, and my Judja all the time. So that's 3 characters I can use that Scream Master on, and multiple ones. Now, if you need that thing down there for Gion, say for some reason you got him, you can use that on, I would say the only person is like Gen C, and nobody's running Calcharo. It's just not happening. Now, if you like Calcharo, by all means do that. But the other 2 rectifiers, like I said, are niche. The thing for Judja, I would say mainly is good for her. You can use it on other characters, but it's not the same. And like I said, Phoebe's is not universal. The passive is locked to her for Spectral Frazzle. Now, like I said, Shang Liao, she has a good gauntlet, but there's nobody else getting the game with gauntlets. I think his weapon would be good for Zanny if you couldn't pull for Zanny's main weapon, which you also gonna miss out on a lot of stuff too. But I think this option is better than the free to play option, which is the free one you get, the 5-star one, because this has crit rate on it, I believe. The other ones just have flat attack. So I think this is just a better option because it's premium, but Zanny's is just way better. So even though I don't have a gauntlet, I have the 5-star with the free one, but I'm gonna pull for Zanny weapon. So it is what it is. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I've got a lot of people saying what they're going to pull. They're going to pull on a lot of these rerun banners, phase 1 and phase 2. And yeah, I don't see the problem with them giving you a rerun and letting you do this. They could have just said, here's Zanny and Gion is the rerun character. Then you wouldn't be able to pick Yanlin. Then you wouldn't be able to pick Judja. You wouldn't be able to pick Shang Liao. You wouldn't be able to pick Phoebe. And then you'll have to wait a couple months to get one of them. They're just giving you the option to say, hey, pick 1, not pick 5. Pick 1, and you can potentially get them. Now, I know people want the rates to be reduced and things like that. It doesn't make sense. I just picked up Phoebe a couple weeks ago, if not a couple months ago, and I had to, go through 50-50, and I lost it. And then I had to put in more pulls to get my Phoebe. So what that would mean is if they decide to do that and every anniversary was 100% rate up for the one time, people will just save until anniversary, get the rate up character on the one time, and then keep it going. So it's going to create a whole nother issue, but that's a whole nother topic. I hope you guys know who to pick. Let me know in the comments who you're going to get. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.